Hey, welcome back. So in the last video we did some refactoring. We split our code into multiple files. So now that we have our handlers for our routes for screens and users in two different files, we can actually start to add some more routes to further enrich the functionality of our app. Alright, so before we do anything, I want to fix two things that I forgot to fix. So here in the auth middleware, we need to actually import DB because we need it right here to access our database. And in validators, here when validating user data, we don't check for user.email, we check for data because that's the name of the argument. Cool. Alright, so the thing that I want to work on this video is setting a route for users to upload the profile image to. So let's do that. Alright, let's create a route here under users route. It's going to be a post route, so app.post, and it's going to post to /user/image, and the function is going to be called upload image, and let's import that from users. So upload image. Let's actually create that. Let's save this and close it, close this, save this and close this as well. Let's go to users, and here at the bottom of users, let's create this function exports.upload image equals, it's going to take a request, a response, and an arrow function, and it's going to do something. Alright, so for this we're going to need a package called, well, there's multiple packages that do this, but that we're going to install something called busboy. So make sure that you're in functions and run npm install --save busboy. Alright, so if we look at the documentation for busboy, you just install it, and you in your function, ignore this HTTP thing because we're already in a handler. In your function you run this on event on file, and then you handle the file upload, and then you run on finish, and then you stop the process and you upload your image using whatever library that you're using. In our case it's Firebase or the admin SDK. Alright, so let's do const busboy equals require busboy, and let's bring in a couple of other things. So const path equals, and path is a default package that's installed on any node project. Let's bring another default package called os, so os equals require os. Another one, it's fs, which I believe stands for file system. Alright, that's all the imports. Let's instantiate an instance of busboy. Let's call it busboy equals new busboy, and this takes an options object, mainly a headers item in it, and this is gonna be, we're gonna give it the our headers that we got in our request, so request.headers. And here let's do our on file event, so busboy dot on, and the event name is called file for file uploads, and the handler is going to take a couple of things. So first one is field name, and as you see here, second is file, third is file name, fourth is encoding, and fifth is MIME type. Now don't be overwhelmed by this, we don't need all of these, we just need, I think, file name, file name and MIME type. But even though that we don't need encoding, for example, we can't just do this because otherwise MIME type will have the value of encoding because it's the fourth argument in the handler or in the callback function. So here we need to get the extension of our file or of our image file. So here let's do const image extension. Yeah, I spelled it correctly, equals. Now let me show you how we're going to extract this. Let's say we have an image file called image.png, or not ONG, PNG. We need to get this PNG, or if it's a JPEG, we need to get the JPEG. What we can do is we can the problem is we can have an image called, for example, my.image.png. So what we need to do is we need to split this string by dots on each dot. So let's do, is it file name? Yeah, file name dot split, and we pass this a string, and not a string, a dot. And here we have an array of strings. So we're gonna have an array that will have, for example, in this case, it's gonna have the first value is my, second is image, and third is PNG. So we need to access the last one. So here, this is an array, so we need to access the last item, which is gonna be file name dot split by dot again dot length -1. Alright, so here this is gonna give us the index of the last item, and then this will give us the value of that, which is gonna be either PNG or JPEG or whatever. So here we need the actual image file name. So let's actually create one. So const what do we call it? Image file name. And let's just give it like a random value. So math.random times I don't know, 10,000 billion. Actually, we need to round this to get rid of the decimals. So math.round, so round it all in math.round like this. And we need to concatenate a dot and concatenate the extension. So let's make this into a template literal string and make this into a variable like this with $ curly braces. Let's add a dot and do another $ curly braces and add the image extension. So an example of this would be like this. So it could be like some random numbers .png. Alright, so let's close the template string and let's do a semicolon. And now we need to get the file path. So let's do const file path equals path.join, and here we need the os namespace os.tempdir for temporary directory, because this is not an actual server but a cloud function. So let's do image. We concatenate image file name that we just created, and then here we'll create a wait, actually, what am I doing? Yeah, we're gonna need image file name and this object that we're gonna create later. So let's actually declare them. We're gonna need them in a different scope, so let's declare them here. So let's do let image file name, and we're gonna need something else called image. Let's give it a more expressive name. So image to be uploaded, and let's initialize it as an empty object. So here we need to actually create this image to be uploaded. So image to be uploaded. It's an object, and it's gonna have two properties: the file path with the value of file path, so we can do it like this, and the MIME type. Let's console log these so that you see what these values actually hold. It's useful to sometimes do it. So field name, we don't need file because it's a weird object. Console.log file name, and let's do console.log MIME type. Alright, we don't need the rest. We just want to see these values. Okay, so now that our file is created, our object is created, we need to use the file system library to actually create this file. So let's do file.pipe, which is a Node.js method, and we pass it fs.create write stream, and inside of this stream we give it our file path that we created, and now this is going to create the file. Now after this event, let's do busboy.on, and this event is the finish event. So once this is done, this will be executed. It's going to have a callback that doesn't take any argument, and here we need to upload this file that we just created. So admin dot we don't have admin. We need to bring admin in. So here we bring admin. Let's go back down. So here we do admin dot storage dot bucket dot upload, and this takes a file path or a path string called here, which is going to be image to be uploaded dot file path. And the second parameter or argument is an options object, and there are a couple of options, but we just need resumable, and we give this a value of false. And we need an object for metadata, which holds, and by the way, this stuff is in the Firebase admin SDK documentations. If you wanna, I really suggest you look at that because it helps understand what the hell we're doing. So this metadata holds another object called metadata, and we're gonna have a key called content type. Did I spell that correctly? I did. And this will have the image to be uploaded dot mime type. All right, so this upload function returns a promise. So we chain dot then, and I believe we don't need anything from that. Yeah, so we just go like this, arrow. And here what we need to do is we need to construct the image URL to add it to our user. So actually, we need to do const image URL equals, and this will be a template string https : Firebase storage dot Google APIs.com /v0, and I'll show you in a second how I know that this is a thing. /v0/b $$ curly braces to put here. What we need to put is, if we go to the config file, find that we have a storage bucket key, so we need this. So we need to do, we already imported it in this file, so we need to do config.storage bucket, and we need to keep on going. So /o/ here we need the image URL that we just created. No, do we need the image URL? No, we need the image file name. So image file name, and this is why we created both of these outside of this scope so that we can access them here. Okay, so image file name, and is this it? No, actually we need to chain alt, this URL parameter alt media, alt equals media, because if we don't, whenever we access this URL without the alt media, it's just going to download the file to our computer instead of showing it on the browser. By adding this alt media, it actually shows it on the browser. Alright, so this is the image URL. What we need to do now is we need to add this image URL to our user's user document, which is right here. So go to our database. Our user here needs to have a key called image URL, and we'll have this value. And so here what we need to do is we need to do return doc, db.doc, and this document would have, so template string, the path for this document is /users, so in the users collection, $. Don't forget that this is a protected route. If we go to admin, no, not admin, index. So in the index, I actually made a mistake here. So this is a protected route. We need to add our auth middleware, authentication middleware, FB auth, because this is, we can't have anyone upload an image to our server or to our storage bucket. So we add the middleware here, and because we've added the middleware, this gives us access to the request.user, because when we reach here, that means this has been authenticated and we have that user object. So here we do request.user.handle, which will let us access the document of this user. And instead of running get, we run update. So .update And update takes an object, and in each object you can do field and give it a value, and it will update that field with that value. So here we need to update the field called image URL, and of course if it doesn't exist it's going to create it, and it's going to have the value of image URL that we just created here, so we can actually just get rid of this and put it like this. Cool, this returns a promise, so we already put return. Let's chain.then. What does this have? Yeah, right result, that's useless. So we just don't take it, and we just go here, and here we just return res.json, and it's gonna have a message. This doesn't matter really. And let's say image uploaded successfully. Cool. And of course here we handle the error case. So catch error console.error error, and then we return res.status 500, and with a JSON with an error.code. Alright, one thing I forgot to do actually is that whenever a user signs up, by default they should have, oops, here, no, not Postman, here. So did I click on Postman again? I didn't actually, that was a bug. Okay, so whenever a user signs up, we need to add an image URL right here that will have an image that has like no face. I mean this, I don't know how to describe this thing. I've already downloaded it, I'll put the link in the description. So we want, by default, whenever someone signs up, we give them this image, and until they upload a new image for themselves, they have this, and when they upload a new one, they will have the new one. So let's actually manually upload this to our bucket. So we go to storage. I think for you will have a blue button here that says activate storage. I've already done that. And let's upload this file. The no image file, I called it no-image.png, and I'll tell you why it matters what I called it. So it's right here, it's in our bucket. Now what we need to do, let's go back to our code, and here whenever someone signs up, let's give them this image. So after the validation, let's do const image or no image equals that name, so no-image.png. And here, when we created the entry in the users table, we add the key users document. Don't know why I keep saying table, because of SQL. Okay, so image URL, and the image URL would be the same thing that we had here. Where is it? This thing. So let's copy all of this. Let's go back up. Where are we? So right here, storage bucket, but instead of image file name, it's gonna be no img. Alright, and let's add a comma. Alright, let's test all of this. It should be working. So yeah, let's save everything and let's run Firebase serve. Not sieve, serve. Firebase serve. Let's sign a new user up. Okay, so this sign up. And here we have, let's give new at email.com, password of that, password, the same thing, and, oh, not password, what am I doing? Confirm password, and here we'll have a handle, new, and let's send this. Email is already in use, is it? Okay, let's do another one. So new to, and the handle is new to. Cool, we get a token. That means we've signed up successfully. And go to authentication, we have new to. We go to database. And in that user new to, there we go. We have the image URL, and it's that image, it's the no image. And if we copy that and we access it, oh, we get 403 error. And why is that? Oh, okay, I know why. It's because we, in the storage, in the database access rules, by default, it doesn't allow anything, and unless we're authenticated. but we're not using the client library. We're checking the authentication through cloud functions. What we can do here, we can do allow read. So this by default will not allow write, it will only allow read, which is not a problem for us because all the files that we're storing here are just user profile images, which are public anyway. So let's do allow read, publish, and it's published. Now if we refresh, there we go, we see that image. Cool. So now by default our users have this no user image. So let's actually test if uploading a new image works. So we have this user new2, they have this no image. Let's log in as new2. So remove these two things and change this to login. Actually, we could just use this token, it's the same. Let's take this token and on the same route, let's go to, on the same tab, let's go to /user/image. It's going to be a post request and it's going to have the header authorization bearer, and we paste that token. And here, instead of a raw body, we give a form data type body, and this key, let's name it image, doesn't matter, but let's name it image. And here, yeah, let's change the type from text to file, and let's select a file, and let's select this user.jpg, and let's send. Let's see if it's actually uploaded successfully. Keeps going forever. Oh, okay, I know why. Oops. All right, so here at the end, where am I? Okay, we're here. So after this on finish event, we need to add busboy.end, and we pass this request.raw body, which is a property that's in every request object. Let's save and it runs again, and let's send the same request. And it says image uploaded successfully, status code 200, cool. Let's go to our new2, and there we go, we have a new image with a random name. If we go to storage, and by the way, when you click on storage, you go here, file location, and you take this download URL, and you go here, it gives you a URL with a token, with an access token, which you need if you don't have access permission. And if you just remove that and you hit enter, there we go, we get that image. And the same URL is stored in the database in the user's document. So which one? It's new2, and there we go, that URL, we copy it, we paste it, and it's exactly the same image. Cool. And if we try to upload another image, let's upload this PNG, send, and it's uploaded. Someone called this image young men instead of young man. Nice English. All right, so we copy that, and we go here and we see the young men. All right, so the image upload is working successfully, but there's a catch here. So let's say, oh, I already created this. How convenient. So let's say we have a text file called hello world, and for some reason it takes ages to open a text file, and it's got the value hello world. We can actually upload this file instead of an image. Text, and we upload it. It's uploaded successfully, and it's actually assigned to our user image, a text file. And if you don't believe me, if we paste it, we get hello world. That's not very good. So what we need to do, we need to handle that here. And by the way, these are the prints. We're printing, what are we printing? What is this? Oh, this is the decoded token. Let's actually remove that. Let's go to FB auth and remove this print or this console log. We save. So if you, as you can see here, we're actually logging after the token, we're logging the name of the field and the name of the file and the MIME type. So when we uploaded the text, the MIME type was text/plain, and when we uploaded the PNG, it was image.png, and the JPEG is exactly that. What we need to do here, we need to, if the file type is not PNG or JPEG, we don't want to allow our users to upload GIFs or text files or whatever. So what we need to do here, let's do if MIME type does not equal image/JPEG and MIME type does not equal image/PNG, then here we just return an error. Return res.j, not let's give a status code of 400 bad request .json with an error message that says wrong file type submitted. Let's test if that's working. We save and we go to Postman with the same text file we send. Cool, we get wrong type file type, whatever. And then if we submit the user.jpg, it actually uploads and it changes in our database. There, it changes to a JPEG. Cool, so that's image upload. I know this has been a long video, but yeah, it's a little bit complex to handle image upload. I hope you've learned a lot, and I hope you're enjoying this series so far. I'd really appreciate it if you drop a like and a subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers!